Chair, are you ready? I can do a countdown?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Our meeting will be live in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. We got the air conditioner turned nice and cold in here, so we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning. Please silence all electronic devices for the duration of the meeting. Welcome to the August 18th, 2025 Finance and Audit Committee meeting. I'm Councilmember Gil Schussler, Chair of the Finance and Audit Committee. This meeting format is hybrid. Quorum is not yet physically present at the Hillsborough Administrative Office's 1201 East 7th Avenue, Florida Conference Room. Some members of the board are participating via communication media technology. We anticipate an additional member here shortly, and we'll gauge the agenda accordingly to accommodate so we can get our action items in. If everybody will please look at your screens of your devices, an image of the flag is displayed. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Next item on the agenda is public comment. There isn't anybody scheduled to appear, and I don't think I see any public here. Is that true, Ms. Danielle? Okay, very good.
That is correct.
There is no public comment, so we'll move forward. One of the next action item would have been the approval of the minutes. With no quorum present at this point, we cannot do that, so we'll have to wait until our individual gets here. Next on our agenda would be a presentation, and Ms. Melanie Williams, Director of Budgets and Grants, will present the budget, 5-year capital plan, and the fiscal 26 capital budget. Ms. Williams, good morning. You are recognized.
Good morning. I'm trying to pull it up on my screen. Good morning, Chair, members of the committee, and Mr. Drainville. So this is a continuation of the FY26 budget discussions. Today, I will briefly summarize the operating budget and then focus on the capital budget and plan. Is this on? So the agenda for today's discussion is the FY26 budget development calendar, the proposed FY26 operating budget, FY26 FY30 5-year capital plan, the proposed FY26 capital budget, the proposed FY26 combined annual budget. You want me to go? Nope, I went too far. All right. So this is the budget calendar. August 18th, today, we will present a budget presentation to the Finance and Audit Committee. And then on September 8th, we will have a first public hearing at 5:30. This is where the board adopts the tentative millage and tentative budget. The advertisement for the public hearing is included on the back of the property tax bill, advertised by the property tax appraiser. And then the week of September 17th through 20th, we have the advertisement of the second public hearing. And this is usually advertised 2 to 5 days before that final hearing, which is scheduled on September 22nd at 5:30. And this is where the board adopts the final millage and the final budget. So this is the operating budget for revenues. The operating budget is $126,420,186. As you see here, we did include the percentage change for FY26 versus FY25 included there. Pause. Next, we have the FY26 proposed operating expenses. This is a balanced budget, so the operating expenses is budgeted at $126,420,000. $420,186. Next, we have the 5-year capital plan. The total 5-year capital plan is $328,969,504. And the first year of the capital plan is the capital budget. And that capital budget is for FY26 is $74,187,938. And then you have the project categories. So the first project category is the vehicles and maintenance, and the 5-year capital plan for vehicles and maintenance is $113,768,561, with that first year being that capital budget of $30,266,299. And then we see the list of all the projects included in that project category. Next, we have the facilities and construction at the 5-year capital plan at $146,897,268. That first year of the capital plan is the capital budget at $28,168,027. And you see the list of projects within that category. Next, we have the 5-year capital plan for the technology, totaling at $10,518,391. That first year of that capital plan is the capital budget at $6,228,391. And you see the list of projects included in that category. Pause for you to look. Next, we have the bus stops and bus shelters, totaling at the 5-year capital plan at $24,853,925. And that first year of the capital plan is that budget at $8,053,925. We have 4 projects included in that category. And then next, we have the bus rapid transit, and that's 5-year capital plan at $30 million. And that project is not scheduled to start until FY27, so we don't have anything budgeted for that capital budget for that project. Next, we have the planning and studies totaling at $500,000, and that is the capital plan and the capital budget at $500,000. And then last, we have the safety and security total at $2,281,459. First year of the capital plan is that capital budget at $971,296. With that total 5-year capital plan again at $328,969,504. Next, we have the capital budget summary, where we have the revenue sources totaling the capital revenues at $74,187,938. You see that the revenue sources pointing out the discretionary grants at $20.9 million, and these are grants that we do have to compete for. We have the capital reserves at $2.5 million. And then we have the Florida Department of Transportation, or FDOT, at $3.2 million. And the next revenue sources are from FTA. The first one is the capital project funding at $1.6 million. We have the bus and bus facilities, 5339 at $3.2 million. The state of good repair, 5337 at $1.1 million. The section 20005, this is a planning grant at $300,000. We have the Federal Highway Administration at $21.8 million, the Build Grant at $2 million, and then finally the 5307, which is the Urbanized Area Formula Grant at $8.1 million. Totaling again the capital budget of $74,187,938. And this is a balanced budget, so you have the capital projects there at the bottom with the project categories that we just went over at $74,187,938. Next, we have the combined annual budget, and the proposed FY26 budget for operating is $126,420,186. And then we have the capital budget again at $74,187,938, with the total proposed FY26 budget at $200,608,124. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions or comments from committee members for Ms. Williams or staff? If not, I do, of course. Were there any significant changes from version to version till we get to this latest iteration?
No, we did have one change where we included, let me go back to no significant changes to answer your question, but I will go back to the operating budget. No changes in the capital. So we did change the taxes and fees of $200,000. We reduced that $200,000, and then we included in the salaries and wages $200,000. So the bottom number did not change. We did a shift for the categories, but the total of the budget did not change.
Okay. All right. My second question is, and you may not be able to answer this, but maybe somebody can. Logistically, given the time that it takes to refurbish a bus stop, we have $5 million in this year's operating capital plan. How much of that do we actually think we're going to really realistically spend this year in order to, how far are we going to get? Anybody?
Well, I see Mr. Rodriguez from PMO is there. Maybe you could shed some light on that.
Hi, Dan Rodriguez, RPMO. Can you repeat the question for me? Can you repeat the question for me?
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat the question for me?
Oh, sure. Given the fact that the length of time that it takes to actually refurbish the bus stops out there, we got 5 million plus in the capital plan for this year. How much of that do we realistically think we're going to be able to at least encumber through in the next fiscal year?
Well, we have a couple of solicitations getting ready to go out. One of them is for emerging technologies, and that's going to be kind of up there. That's kind of the Castor money that she gave us. It should be about $2-3 million off to start off. That's going to hit the streets probably right after the new fiscal year. So that'll that'll encumber quite a bit of that money. Also, there's another order of shelters that'll probably be coming up. That'll be another $1 million coming up in the following year. So we will be tying up. We've been waiting for this money for a while, so we'll be tying quite a bit of it up.
What's this new company going to be doing?
The emerging technologies, that's going to be like, real-time technology, the next bus coming, new screens at the transit centers.
Oh, okay.
Wayfinding at the bus stop itself, kind of digital screenings. Some of the new shelters, they have capability to have some electronics in it. We haven't put any yet to date, so that's something we're looking to do forward.
So this isn't just new builds. This is some refurbishment of existing.
Well, it'll be new builds because we bought new shelters, and the new shelters will have new technology in them. So as we replace the old shelters, because they don't have the capability to do that,
Right.
The new shelters will all be retrofitted to have these new technologies in it, whether it be at a stop, depending on ridership. Some of the bigger stops will have more technology in it, bigger screens. Most of them will have a poll or an e-screen on it, e-paper, to kind of tell you when the bus is coming.
Why? Because I know that this is a hot topic for some of the board members, and it seems to be a perpetual. Well, where do we stand? We only have 2 or 3 or whatever in process, and I'm trying to stall time here, guys. So how much of the plan are we going to be able to digest in the next year?
Well, you already have, according to the last update, I think we close to 100 new shelters already on the street. Either they replaced some old ones and some new locations. So immediately that new technology will go to those locations first. And as the shelters start coming in, we still have about 50 or so on our lot that are going to replace aging
Okay.
ones that are kind of in disrepair.
Okay.
So as those are going out, it's just a constant flow. We hope to have all that stuff started as soon as this new consultant or new vendor gets on board. It should be off and running.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I have a question around that. Thank you. When we, maybe during our board meetings, there'll be an opportunity for the bus stop and shelters, the information around the status and I guess the same information that you just provided. Maybe we could keep that as an update for our board meetings.
Sure.
So that, because as Mr. Schussler said, this is a hot topic. So maybe we could get an update on a regular basis in the board meeting regarding bus shelters and stops.
Yes, I know in the packet, there should be an update from the BTI program manager. If there's something specific you'd like to see, I'll have him bring that up closer to the front. So
I
that you
think
can see.
it's a good idea considering the amount of conversation that takes place around.
Sure. We've been
Thank
waiting
you.
for this. We'll be glad to announce it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay, there's no action required on this, and we look forward to another presentation in September on this, I would imagine. So, okay, we're gonna take some liberties here and move around a little bit on the agenda. Still hoping for the quorum member to get here. We're going to jump ahead to item number 6, procurement monitoring. Mr. Drangeville, you're recognized to share updates on the procurement monitoring reports.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, committee members. Good morning, staff. So we'll start off with sole source procurement. There was no sole source procurements have been added to the sole source report for FY25. Fiscal year to date, sole source procurements total $894,225. Moving on to task orders, no BTI construction task orders have been issued since the July board meeting. One A&E design services task order was issued since that meeting. A task order was issued to Kimley Horn and Associates Incorporated to design a shelter pad and landing pad on 21st Ave and 32nd Street. No general consultant services task orders have been issued since the last board meeting. $501,198.50 in task orders have been issued, with $4,498,801.50 remaining on the board awarded not to exceed $5 million. Moving on to notice of solicitations. 2 new solicitations were issued since the last board meeting. A solicitation for a contractor to provide 20 Cradle Point routers and antennas to be installed in the paratransit fleet expansion. Solicitation for licensing software renewal on Cisco firewall hardware. Firewalls are essential protecting HART's network from unauthorized access, cyber attacks, and other security threats. And that concludes my procurement report.
Okay, any questions or comments by committee members? Appearing to be none. Is there, I could do a tap dance. I don't know what else to do at this point. We're kind of waiting. Any other staff comments that anybody cares to make?
I would just say, if I may, Chair, so going back to the BTI shelters.
Sure.
So I have directed staff to do a quarterly report, just depending on the length of the next evening meetings. We'll be kind of determine whether that report, but definitely there'll be a quarterly report on all bus shelter progress. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Do we have any idea how many open projects we have that require outside approvals, i.e. Zoning or permitting issues?
There's a number of projects in different stages. I don't know the exact number of how many in permitting, but there's a number of projects. I'm working closely with PMO, Dan, and Dwayne to get those really. I think we've done in the last, year, we've really spiked our progress on moving this forward and getting these projects done. So.
I have a question,
Please.
please. Mr. Dramio, were you able to get some insight on the streetcar and the additional budget in regards to the funds that we were short?
Great question. So this week we have staff and I have a number of meetings set up with the mayor on Wednesday and some council members to really to discuss not only the upcoming proposed budget, but the current budget and the indirect costs. So hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have some positive information, knowing that we will be, it'll go in front of the THS board next Tuesday for the current budget approval. So I'm hoping I can get this squared away by the end of this week. So.
For everybody's edification, it might be worth it to touch base on what's actually happening or not happening, whatever be as it is with the city.
So as of right now, there's a $4.3 million deficit on the THS side. The city has proposed in their budget a $2 million increase of funds towards the streetcar. We need to, part of my discussions to be what was that $2 million, going to cover. If that $2 million is approved, we still have a $2.3 million deficit. We did add 7 FTEs to the streetcar, 4 operations controllers and 3 street supervisors. And this is really to a corrective action that, in past audits have been, we were lacking in supervision on the street and an OCC on the street side. OCC in the past have normally shared those tasks at 21st. We made an investment to bring that OCC here at Ybor. So that's where those 7 FTEs came in. So of course, with 7 FTEs, not only salaries, but then of course, there's fringes and healthcare, and which drove the costs up. We're really hoping. I'm hoping that I can come to some kind of conclusion, and we can get this budget covered. And in regards to the current budget, last year the budget was approved with indirect costs, and those conversations I'll have. Me and Ms. Williams will be going to meet with the mayor on the current indirect costs and getting that up to date. Those paid up to date. So as of right now, they are not paid up to date.
Mr. Deber, your tenure may not have started here. Are you familiar with the indirect direct allocation issue?
I think I'm just coming up to speed on some of the THS budgeting. I
Right.
attended one meeting, so any opportunity to learn either in this meeting or after the fact would be helpful.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
So regarding the cost allocation, there was legislation passed to look to do an operations analysis through the state. So the state hired a consultant, Michael Baker Consulting, to do that operations analysis. And I don't want to say recommendation, but a suggestion of would help HART was to have a cost allocation plan done. So we started with the streetcar, knowing that HART was assuming a lot of indirect costs over the years covering the streetcar. So we had that cost allocation completed. I sent it to the city went over it. And then the complete cost allocation plan was just completed just this past June. And I've sent them also a copy of the full cost allocation plan. So in that cost allocation, it just breaks down all the indirect costs that HART assumes. And that's where we came up with those indirect costs on this current THS budget.
If I remember correctly from the January board meeting, there was some concern raised on HART's carrying those indirect costs, and there was a request made to make sure that the indirect costs aren't impacting the HART budget and instead were being carried by the entities that were responsible. Is that all connected to this issue?
That's correct, yes. And just to add to, so the COAs in the current budget incorporated an additional $700,000 to cover the free fares. So staff is working with the CRAs, now to cover that, to see if they can have additional funding from the CRA. So,
and I know that we're hoping for a 4th member, and I wouldn't put this out there absent that need, but I noticed in the capital project plan, there's $2 million included to upgrade the fare boxes. And I know that we're not fare free. I know there's been some discussion with the fare free. on an annual, that's system wide. And so it wouldn't be relevant to consider delaying the upgrade to the fare boxes if ever we were to move to a fare-free approach throughout the entire system. I'm interpreting that's the thought process there. We need to make that investment now, and then even if that gets cannibalized at some point in the future, if we went fare-free.
Yeah, so there's a couple of components to the fare box rebuild. So we got rid of the paper passes, and the technology we currently use is very, very old and antiquated. I believe, I literally worked on this technology over 25 years ago. So the current vendor is not going to be supporting that. So will force us into doing something, but we would look to something more advanced, maybe just a cash option. And because we have the Flamingo and we can tap at the Flamingo. So we're definitely looking at, there's different factors when it comes to that fare box upgrade.
And that, I'm sorry, also fare box recovery, the actual fares that we do recover is, I think it was like 9 or 10% of the revenue stream. So it's not going to be something that we can just walk away from anytime soon. Not to change, Gary, Mr. Hartfield, I see your hand is raised, sir.
Yes, quick comment, Mr. Chair. If possible, Mr. Drangsville, when you have established a meeting with the mayor regarding THS, if you will, please include me. I'd love to accompany you and the team at that meeting.
Okay, sure I will.
Thank you.
Okay, no further questions on this. We have now established a quorum. Welcome, Mr. Director Knight. So we will move into the action items. First one being, I'm assuming everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes from the, what was it? The June 16th, 2025 Joint Finance and Audit and Operations and Safety Committee meeting. If so, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Appear to be not. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on with the committee action items. Next on the agenda are 6 committee action items for review by the committee for recommendation on approval by the full board of directors. Item 5A, the HART Board of Directors authorized the CEO to award a contract to Seaford Graphics for vehicle wraps with a 3-year base and 2 one-year options in a not to exceed amount of $114,789. Mr. Nicholas Goldberg, Director of Fleet Maintenance, will present the first 3 items. Mr. Goldberg, you're recognized to provide an overview of the first item. Welcome.
Good morning. Welcome, Chair, Mr. Drainville, members of the committee. Nicholas Colburn, Director of Fleet Maintenance. Action item 5A, vehicle wraps. This item requests authorization to award a contract to Seaford Graphics, Inc. in a not to exceed amount of $114,789. Funded through FY22 Section 5307 grant and FY 2024 Section 5339 grant. Seaford Graphics will provide vinyl, labor, material, and equipment to install partial wraps on new vehicles for HART Plus service that were approved on the resolution R 2025-0517. HART is expected to begin accepting deliveries of these vehicles in October 2025, which include the replacement of 16 paratransit vehicles and the expansion of the fleet by 20 additional vehicles. This action ensures consistent branding, supports 100% DBE participation, and provides a professional appearance for HART Plus vehicles. Any questions?
Okay, excuse me. Thank you. Do committee members have any questions or comments for staff? Mr. Hartfield, your hand is still raised. Did you wish to discuss this or?
No, I
Okay.
apologize. I'll
Okay.
take that down.
No worries, no worries. Okay, appearing to be no comments or question, is there a motion to recommend that the HART Board of Directors approve item 5A and advance to the full HART Board of Directors on the September 8th meeting, Board of Directors regular meeting? Do we have a motion? Oh, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion on the motion? Appear to be done. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, you're still on board.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
next, item 5B is to recommend to the Board of Directors, authorize the CEO to modify the existing contract with Gas South LLC for natural gas supply to extend the period of performance through February 5th, 2026, with no change to the total not to exceed amount of $5,664,054. Mr. Goldberg, you're recognized to provide an overview on this item.
Okay. This item seeks approval to extend the existing natural gas supply contract with Gas South LLC through February 2026, with a board approval approved not to exceed amount of $5,664,054, ensuring no unforeseen expenses to HART. The funding would be allocated in FY26 operating budget with future years contingent on appropriation. The extension provides time to incorporate EPA Renewable Identification Number RIN credits into the solicitation. By leveraging HART's ownership and operation of its own fueling infrastructure, the authority can generate new revenue streams while offsetting fuel costs. Any questions on this action items?
Okay, does committee members have any comments or questions for staff? Mr. Nieberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the RIN offset, my understanding on this is that it extends the term so that the credits can be incorporated into a future solicitation, or will this term include the possible credits?
So this action item extends the current contract to allow staff to meet with stakeholders, which we're meeting with TICO, and possibly a consultant to review the documentations we've provided so far in our RFP or Exhibit H. Unlike the past, we have now decided to go to the national market for renewable natural gas. And there's a program by the EPA that allow us to receive credit as far as funding back into the authority by being a provider of natural gas, renewable natural gas, which is a biofuel. So we're really looking to capitalize on the EPA program to generate revenue back into the agency for strictly fuel and buses.
And I'm sorry to repeat what I think I heard you say, but I want to make sure I understand it. This item is to extend the term of the existing contract.
Correct.
Which will then enable staff to pursue or to continue really its effort to seek these credits. And if successful, these credits will offset the total natural gas expense that that HART incurs. And then if we were successful in that effort as a percentage, how much might we be looking to offset? Is it pretty significant, that percentage?
We've heard, so let me back up. You're correct. This action item allows us to develop a new RFP in which we will have requirements for RIN credit for renewable natural gas. Hopefully that adds clarification.
Yeah, I think it does. So by extending the existing contract, it's really just to give us time needed to put together the new RFP,
Correct.
but it won't be factored into the existing contract.
Correct.
It'll be new. Okay, thank you.
We have heard that there's a potential to generate anywhere between $30,000 to $80,000 based on our usage. Now, that's just what we've heard. That's monthly in meetings we've had with consultants. We have not finalized those numbers, and we will not be able to until we put RFP out on the marketplace.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I have one. How are we going to be generating revenue as a result of this? Just through the credits?
Just to the credits. The EPA, the program is built to promote renewable natural gas over compressed natural gas, fracking gas. And by promoting utilization of renewable natural gas, agencies or suppliers and distributors receive credit from just utilizing it. And that's what we're looking to capitalize on.
I get a little fuzzy with the term renewable natural gas. What's
Renewable
the-
natural gas is methane biofuel. Think about a landfill.
Is that where we're getting it from?
Yeah.
Taylor Road?
It would be national. So the way the infrastructure is set up, it could be from anywhere in the country. It's delivered to the gateway, to TECO, where it's injected into our system, the state system.
I'm still, how do we benefit from that? How do we get to
Zero
play in the
emissions.
sandbox? Huh?
It's a zero emission fuel. So that's how we benefit.
Okay, so we're extending the contract, and I'm not sure it'd be difficult. We're extending the contract to February. When was the normal expiration?
October.
October. So we're adding 5 months to it. Added not to exceed the amount of 5.6. If these credits don't come through, do we run the risk of exceeding this amount?
No, the credits will be in the new RFP for the next 5
Okay,
years.
for next year. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
So
we're
we're
gonna
just
add five, we're adding 5 months. Has there been a price decrease that we're going to stay under the 5.6 million?
Correct.
Okay, all right, okay. Any other comments or questions by anybody? Mr. Hartfield, I don't see your hand up, okay. Is there a motion to recommend to the HART Board of Directors to approve item 5B and advance to the full HART Board at the September 8th, 2025 Board of Directors regular meeting? We have a motion, do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Appear to be none. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, the last one from Mr. Goldberg. Recommend to the HART Board of Directors authorize the CEO to award a contract to Communications International, Inc. for streetcar radio system hardware and installation in the amount of $102,410 and a 5-year warranty and support agreement in the amount of $5,083 for a not to exceed total amount of $107,493. Mr. Goldberg, you're recognized again.
Okay. This item recommends awarding a contract to Communication International, Inc. in a not to exceed amount of $107,493, funded with $73,656 from the FHWA Service Transportation Funds and $33,837 from the Capital Reserves transferred from ad valorem funds. The contract provides P25 compliant radio communication hardware and installation for 9 streetcars, along with a 5-year warranty and support agreement. This procurement is part of the larger board-approved project under Resolution R 2025-0518 to join the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office P25 radio system, ensuring HART achieves countywide interoperability, enhanced security, and reliable in its streetcar communication system. I'll pause for questions.
Okay, do committee members have any questions or comments for staff? Mr. Lieber.
Yeah, just to clarify, this solicitation is to install radio hardware specific to the streetcar, which seems to connect to the previous discussion. And it's part of a broader effort. And then I would wonder, to what extent have we included these types of radios in the wider fleet?
Okay, you're correct. This action item is for installing a new radio system, the hardware on the streetcars. Fleet-wide and agency-wide, we're currently in the process of migrating from our older CDM 2150 system. That's old. We bought a system, I believe, in 2007, and it's no longer support. So agency-wide, we're looking to join the entire county, and HART's the last agency, local agency, that is not on the current P25 system. So this action item is just a small portion that's being added to the major project that includes fixed route and paratransit radio systems.
And if I may, just as a follow-up, when you say the existing program, that is to say that the fleet-wide effort to upgrade those radios is a project that's underway, that's
Correct.
already been funded, and this is a remaining component of that desire to get all of the fleet, including the streetcar, on this countywide program using these types of radios.
Correct. It's a unified system
Thank
for
you.
HART.
Yeah, to your point, the this year's fiscal budget had, or capital budget had like $10 million in it to upgrade the entire system. Did we just miss the streetcars or was it an afterthought?
It was not included in the initial RFP and the initial scope we provided. So you could say it was add late addition.
Oops, we missed it. Okay. All right, yeah, that's how we fix those things. Any other questions or comments? Here, did we, oh,
So
sorry.
moved.
Okay, thanks for the presentation. So, you said it wasn't included, but what about the Hillsborough County Sheriff Office communication? Will the bus system be integrated with that as well?
Yes, we'll be 100%
Sure.
integrated with the
Okay.
county sheriff's system.
Okay, could we have a motion to bring item 5C forward, advance to the full Board of Directors, September 8th, Board of Directors regular meeting?
So moved.
We have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Appearing to be none. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the like sign. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, you can relax now. Item 5D, recommend to the HART Board of Directors authorize the CEO to execute a modification to the existing contract with ADP LLC to renew the contract through September 30th, 2029 for a 4-year total not to exceed amount of $1,661,596 and increase BC-000679 to a not to exceed amount of $4,800,396. Ms. Jacqueline Haldell, Chief Administrative Officer, you're recognized to provide an overview of this item.
I almost got a promotion.
Sorry.
Good morning, Chair and members of the Finance and Audit Committee. This second extension is necessary to ensure continuing HR services, including payroll, timekeeping, onboard processes, and performance management. The extension provides a 3% decrease in year 1, followed by a 3% increase in years 2 through 4. The total for this 4-year extension will not exceed $1.66 million, and this will bring the full contract, as you stated, to $4.8 million. Funding for fiscal year 26 is in the proposed operating budget, and future years are subject to the annual appropriation. After this contract modification, staff will develop new specifications to conduct a competitive procurement and ensure a smooth implementation. We're asking the Finance and Audit Committee to recommend this item to the full board for approval at the September 8th, 2025 board meeting. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Jackie? I had one. Is our infrastructure set up for it? We have any other additional requirements? Any new programs? The ADP likes to come out with a lot of tweaks every now and then. Is there anything that they?
I would, I guess, defer to Kathy on any modules, but for the extension, no.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a renewal of our existing contract,
Okay. They're not coming down the pike with anything fun and exciting.
not during this period, no.
Okay. All right. Cool. Any other questions?
You answered,
Ms.
you
Williams,
answered my question.
please. Okay. We have a. Let me start over. Is there a motion to recommend the HART Board of Directors approve item 5D in advance to the full HART Board of Directors at the September 8th, 2025 Board of Directors regular meeting?
So moved.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Appear to be none. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, the next two items are presented by Mr. Manuel Nunez, Manager Retail Sales and Revenue. Item 5E, recommend to the HART Board of Directors authorize the CEO to modify Agreement A-100557 with Innovations in Transportation INET to add and upgrade features to the Tampa Regional Revenue Collection and Intra-Jurisdictional Mobility System in a not-to-exceed amount of $488,722. You guys haven't come up with an acronym for this yet? My God, you're slipping. Anyway, okay. Mr. Nunez, you're recognized to present, please.
Thank you. Morning, Emmanuel Nunez, Manager Retail Sales and Revenue. Good morning to the members committee, the chair, CEO. Thank you. All right, so this action item is to modify the agreement we have with Enid to add and upgrade our current features that we have in what we call Flamingo Fair system or the Tampa Regional Fair Collection, known as Flamingo Fairs, as stated. This is grant funded 100%. No local match is required by FDOT. Some of the features that we are upgrading are the tap capability, allowing our clients to have multiple taps and being able to collect on every single tap. Currently, we up to 2 tap, we have a fare cap. What we're trying to do is allow the fare cap, and at the same time, if a family wants to travel multiple parties, they could do that. It only required 1 card to make those payments. In addition to that, we're going to replace the current mobile app. We're trying to add some features to it to improve our user experience, and also to securely register contactless debit card and credit card to our discounted citizen, either youth, senior, veterans. That way, they're not required to get a Flamingo card. They could already use a bank issue card, and we could securely register that for them and still provide them with a discount, which is 50%. And with that, I'll stop for any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions from Mr. Nunez on this item?
I have a question. Does Enid own, or are they purely own Flamingo and we're using it? Or are they building the software for us?
Yes, they own the software, yes.
Okay, so we will forever pay them for upgrades and so forth, or is there some type of package, or how does that work?
Currently, the way the agreement that we have with them, they kind of manage our, I don't want to say back office, but kind of give us like 24/7 kind of support. Any type of issues, we have the mobile app or our website. We call them right away within that 24-hour period. We'll take care of those issues. We do pay them a support fee on a monthly basis. And this is to cover not just HART, but also PSDA. We have the same system with them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Deaver.
Thank you. As I'm trying to build my knowledge base, I hear the discussion on the website, and that's the Go HART website in general, or is it specific to fare collection as this item pertains?
Specifically to fare collection.
Okay, specifically to fare collection. And so is there am I to understand from that answer that there's a web application? In addition to that, there are native applications as well, and those are included in this effort to upgrade. And I would wonder, and I also understood from your answer that there's a combined either contract or we coordinate with Pinellas County on this. Does Enid develop individual applications that are native, or are they just simply one application that is made to be responsive so that it can be rendered on a mobile device? Do you have any insights into that?
No, not the inside. I could give you on the high level. The mobile app and our website, they all integrated, mainly to collect fare or to allow our clients to be able to make a transaction. The upgrade right now with our current mobile app, there's some lacking features that doesn't provide the best experience to our client. It may lag maybe when they're trying to do a transaction, so we're trying to fix that up, and that would require to completely overhaul the mobile app. Our app has been since, I believe, 2019, 2020. So it requires an upgrade on that.
And does this item in any way overlap with the 100,000 on the CAP plan to upgrade the HART website, or is that a completely separate matter, or are those two things overlapping in any way?
They're a separate matter.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? I have one. I'm gonna probably regret asking this. How much have we spent on Flamingo since the inception? Do we know?
When we first introduced this full project, we had it at $12 million. And we kept it on that level. I don't think we've been overboard, other than this particular upgrade of $488,000 may take it a little over 12.
So we're close.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you. No further questions. Is there a motion to recommend that the HART Board of Directors approve item 5E and advance it to the full HART Board at the September 8th, 2025 Board of Directors regular meeting?
I'll move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Appearing to be none. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, I believe this is the last one. Item 5F is to recommend to the Board of Directors authorize the CEO to modify the terms of the existing interlocal agreement between between HART and Hillsborough County through September 30th, 2025. Mr. Nunez, you're recognized.
Thank you. The agreement is to modify our current, our current agreement with Hillsborough County for the purchases of bus passes and other fare media for disadvantaged citizens of the county mainly through the Sunshine Line. It's just, we intend to extend this relationship. We've been having the relationship with Hillsborough County for the last 20 years. And the potential income revenue of this is $800,000 in the next 5 years. And with that, I'll stop for any questions.
Mr. Niebuhr.
800,000 over the term or on an annual basis?
Over the term.
Okay.
I have a question. Why only through September 25?
That's when it currently expired.
Okay.
And then we do a 1-year renewal, and then after that, it automatically for the next 5 years until 2030.
Could we possibly put in the agenda, in the consent agenda, that deals with the gives a little more specificity, because it's only going to be consent agenda item for the board meeting. So that, because I have no idea what this is for. So I appreciate your presentation. Thank you very much. And I sit on the Transportation Disadvantage Coordinating Board, and I hadn't heard that this was coming up. So I was just a little curious as to what are they doing with these?
Sunshine Line purchase on a yearly basis. They purchase monthly passes for citizen or HART Plus tickets.
So they buy them from us and they distribute it.
And they distribute.
All right.
Yes.
We get pennies on the dollar, dollar for dollar, or
$1 for $1. Yeah, they pay
Okay.
full price for it.
all right, cool, excellent. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Appear to be none. Is there a motion to recommend the HART Board of Directors approve item 5F and advance to the full HART Board of Directors for September 8th Board of Directors regular meeting?
So moved.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Appearing to be none. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, now that wasn't hard. Okay, this concludes the regular business of the meeting. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? Appearing to be none. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for staying. Staff, thank you for all the effort. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Emmanuel, I'm Heather. I don't know if you're.